welcome to the TMC Newsroom. Thanks for watching. My name is Rich Tarani, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada at Interrupt 2011. On our program is Randy Abrams. He's a Director of Technical Education at ESET.
Hi, it's great to be here today.
You know, we're thrilled to have you. So tell me a little bit about your company.
Well, ESET or ESET, depending on whether you're saying it European or American, has been around since 1992 as a company. And I worked at Microsoft back then and was responsible for making sure that Microsoft didn't release infected software. And ESET became very well known for having very, very strong, powerful heuristics, the ability to detect unknown threats without a signature. And so that's why I had brought them into Microsoft and the job I was doing. It turns out it's also a very fast product, so we became very popular with gamers as well.
So what's been the trend in the last couple of years at the company? What anything in the market you're seeing?
We're seeing a drastic need for education. You know, technology can only do so much. We're up against criminals now, not teenagers looking for fame and glory. You know, there's a ton of money behind this now. And so you're not going to beat every threat out of the gate. The bad guys have a QA system. You know, they've got an entire array of scanners. They've got all of our products, and oftentimes they don't release their malware until they've beat every one of us. But the common denominator is they're constantly using social engineering tactics, right. And that's something that education is very well suited for. That's how you deal with social engineering attacks, is with social education.
So what sort of education?
Primarily, we need to teach about social engineering. Phishing is a type of social engineering. Because, you know, if you look back through the history of civilization, there have been certain skills that society said, this is required for the sustenance of society. You know, at one point, every male in a tribe learned how to hunt. All the women learned how to make clothes. In some societies, there were different roles. And throughout time, these skills change. So when cars came into existence and started becoming more popular and we had threats from cars, we had traffic education in elementary school. You know, we had crossing guards, driver's education in high school. In fact, insurance companies give a discount for people that have had driver's education because they're validating education. Well, the internet came along magnitudes more quickly than cars came along, but society didn't have a chance to adapt to the new threat, because what the internet did was made social engineering affordable for mass scale. It's been with us forever, but how many wood horses can you build and take up to a city?
Right.
Prior to the internet, a social engineering attack meant the attacker was seen by the victim,
right,
or it was very slow. They had to send mail, had to use a telephone that could be traced. Well, now you can sit in a coffee shop in Nigeria, an internet cafe in Nigeria, and attack 100,000 people like that, and it doesn't cost you anything. But we don't have any education around social engineering attacks in our school system.
So let me see if I understand, because you used the term twice, and I wasn't sure if I got which version you meant. When you said phishing, did you mean P-H-I-S-H-I-N-G?
Yes.
Okay, not the phishing where the men in the tribe go out and learn to fish and hunt. It's the phishing. Okay, so what you're talking about is phishing, which are targeted attacks, or even spear phishing, which are more targeted attacks at individuals within an organization, right?
Right, and a lot of phishing attacks aren't even targeted at all. It's like, I'll buy a mailing list and I'll send it out. Haven't you ever received something saying there's a problem with your bank account from a bank that you don't deal with?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's not targeted.
Right. So there's both kinds. And I guess people who become at a certain profile level or unlucky enough to get targeted, they will get specific, threats aimed at them and specifically customized to either what they do or their particular workload or their work responsibility.
And with social networking, people don't realize that the person that sent them that message might not be their friend. It might be from their friend's account that got compromised.
Okay, so here's a question I have for you, because I know a lot of people that are, for lack of a better term on video, fairly ignorant of anything having to do with security, internet security, and they will almost jump to volunteer information when they get emails. And for someone like me who grew up with tech, not to say that I'm perfect, I think we've all at one time or another clicked on something we wish we wouldn't have or whatever. We've done something. But to me, I try to stay vigilant. I always assume that every email that I get has got some sort of malicious sender attached to it. What do we do with people that just don't seem to have the level of technical interest, and they kind of love to live in their bubble and do their Facebook thing or their email thing, and they do some banking and they do some shopping? What do we do with those people? How do we make this interesting? Because if we don't make it interesting for them, and I don't know if we've got to have an episode of the Kardashians where one of them gets hacked for this, or Desperate Housewives. I just get the sense that unless we do that, the majority of the world, or at least the U.S. population, is going to stay unprotected.
Yeah, I've said for years, if you want to get security education out there, include it in reality TV shows.
Absolutely.
That's where the people are. But
I'm thinking of program 16 and Pregnant and Hacked.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I mean, maybe I'll go to MTV after we're done. And see what they want to do.
Yeah, that should work perfectly. But there's a variety of educational approaches, and one of my favorite sayings is, if you see only one solution, you probably don't understand the problem. And I thought about that with respect to how do you get people to stop falling for phishing attacks, and realize it isn't about identifying the phishing email. If they don't click on the link or don't reply, it doesn't matter if they knew it was a phishing email or not. So for that kind of attack, I focus more on the behavioral. I teach people, there's only two kinds of people in the world that ask you for your password: thieves and idiots. You don't want to give your password to a thief, and you don't want to give your password to an idiot because they'll give it to a thief. So when that email comes in saying, there's a problem with your Hotmail account, you have to give us your password, I've taught these people to know it was either a thief or an idiot that sent that, don't reply. If you click on a link and it takes you to a web page to log in, don't log in. Even if you're sure it came from Facebook, you can go to www.facebook.com, log in there, and the message is there if it's real. If it's not real, you've been had. Just follow those two rules, and probably 98% of the phishing attacks don't work, whether or not the person knew it was a phishing email.
And while we're on the topic, it's worth pointing out, it's very important that people who are extra vigilant with their email and with their social networking sometimes let their guard down via the telephone. And so there are telephone attacks that are similar, whereby you'll get a message on your voicemail or your answering machine at home, and it'll tell you to call the bank, and then you'll call what you believe is either Citibank or Bank of America or whatever it is, American Express, and it will prompt you to enter your number, your credit card number, and your password. And if you don't check that number, so what you need to do is, if you ever get a call from your credit card company, the safest thing you can do is call the number on the back of your credit card.
Exactly.
Forget that number, just use the credit card.
The moment it asks you for your PIN is the moment you should assume it's not right. And if it actually is right, then that's when you need to bitch at your bank for being stupid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, okay, great. In terms of how we can help you get the word out to people, are there any other things that we should be doing as a media company to get the word out to the viewers here on things they shouldn't do? Like, what can we do to help?
Well, one of the things is getting the word out to viewers. Another thing is getting people to let politicians know that we need this to be part of our society. But ESET has a collaborative effort with several other stakeholders, over 200. It's called Securing Our eCity.
Okay.
And this is, if you go to securingourEcity.org, you will find zero marketing.
Okay.
This is all about raising cybersecurity awareness. We'll go out and do workshops for companies to teach the users how to be more cyber savvy. Sony, Quest, the San Diego Chamber of Commerce, San Diego Police Department, they're all partners with us. We collaborate with other cities, other countries. It's a matter of getting people to realize that they need to spend a little time getting a little education. SecuringOurEcity.org is a great place to start.
Randy, thanks for being on the program. Congratulations on the great work you do, and thanks on behalf of all the people that need assistance securing their workplace, their telephone, their credit card numbers, their bank account numbers, etc.
Thank you very much.